Have you ever stopped to think about how much authority has changed in recent years? Shocking research shows that nearly 70% of kids today admit they don't respect authority figures like teachers or parents. That's a staggering number. Many parents are left wondering, where did we go wrong? The truth is, respect doesn't just happen, it's taught and learned. The world we live in today is different from the one we grew up in. Kids are exposed to social media, peer pressure, and technology in ways that can make them question authority more than ever before. A survey by the Pew Research Center found that 61% of teens say they see adults acting disrespectfully, leading them to believe that authority figures don't deserve respect. In this video, we'll explore the unseen influences shaping our children's attitudes. We'll tackle the digital age's impact on respect and reveal surprising ways you can reinforce authority at home. Are you ready to take control? Discover effective strategies to raise kids who respect authority without stifling their independence. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Silent Saboteurs. How society shapes your child's respect for authority. Parents often feel like they're in a constant tug-of-war between their values and society's influence. Did you know that by age 7, kids spend 75% of their time under someone else's authority, whether it's teachers, friends, or coaches? Society, through media, schools, and peers, often undermines the core values parents try to instill at home. It's easy to forget that children pick up more than just words, they observe actions, attitudes, and the subtle social cues around them. For example, social media can create a disrespect echo chamber. Studies show that kids who frequently use social media are 70% more likely to mimic rude behaviors they see online. To combat this, one effective strategy is simple: limit exposure. Set clear rules around screen time and the type of content they can access. You're not just protecting them from inappropriate content, you're also shaping their worldview. But technology isn't the only issue. Peer pressure plays a significant role too. Kids model behavior from their friends. If disrespect is cool among their peers, it becomes harder to maintain authority at home. That's why it's crucial to know your child's friends and, even more importantly, get to know their parents. Arrange playdates where you can observe group dynamics and subtly guide your child toward friendships that reinforce positive behavior. Another overlooked influence is what I call the authority void in schools. Teachers are often overwhelmed, and with larger class sizes, it's harder to enforce discipline. Partner with your child's school by having regular check-ins with teachers. Share your discipline strategies at home so the authority kids experience in the classroom mirrors what they get at home. A quote that really sticks comes from Dr. Daniel Siegel, who said in his book The Whole Brain Child, "What you do matters more than what you say." Your role is to be a constant presence that counters these societal influences. Be deliberate in showing respect for authority yourself. When kids see you navigating the world with respect and discipline, they'll follow suit. It's all about consistency, not just in words but in actions. Chapter 2. Parenting or peer pressure? Unseen influencers in your child's life. Ever noticed how your child's mood shifts after a playdate or school event? That's the subtle power of peer pressure. Kids, especially between ages 8–14, are in their most impressionable years. In fact, researchers found that children are twice as likely to mimic the actions of their peers rather than listen to their parents. That's why who your child surrounds themselves with is more critical than you might think. But how can you, as a parent, take control without seeming controlling? One proven strategy is facilitating group activities at home. Host gatherings that give you insight into how your child interacts with their peers. Whether it's a movie night or a sports game, it allows you to guide the social dynamic without being overbearing. Another interesting tactic is teaching your child how to be a leader among their friends. A 2020 study from the University of Illinois showed that children with leadership skills are 50% less likely to fall victim to peer pressure. Help your child practice standing their ground in small ways, like choosing the game everyone plays or voicing their opinion confidently. These small actions can build their ability to resist negative influences over time. One unique approach is to help your child create an identity based on values, not popularity. Use positive affirmations like, "In our family, we respect others and ourselves." Studies show that children with a strong family identity are less influenced by peer pressure because they have a clearer sense of who they are. They won't feel the need to conform just to fit in. As parents, it's easy to overlook the hidden influencers in your child's life. But with proactive involvement and a focus on strengthening leadership and identity, you can counteract the sway of peer pressure. You don't have to control everything, but you can guide them to make better choices even when you're not around. Chapter 3: Boundaries or Burdens? When discipline feels like a chore, disciplining your child can sometimes feel like a never-ending battle. In fact, studies reveal that 50% of parents feel exhausted by enforcing rules and boundaries. But here's a shift in perspective. Think of discipline as a form of love, not punishment. Boundaries are a way to teach kids respect, not just for you, but for themselves and the world around them. Consistency is key here. Kids thrive on structure, but most importantly, they respect it. A great tip comes from psychologist Dr. Laura Markham, who says in her book Peaceful Parent, Happy Kids, discipline is less about control and more about teaching. When children understand the why behind a rule, they are more likely to follow it. So, the next time you set a boundary, take a moment to explain why it's important. "We go to bed on time because your body needs rest to grow strong," is more effective than, "because I said so." Another effective strategy is making consequences logical, not emotional. For instance, if your child disrespects you by not cleaning up their toys, the logical consequence could be losing the privilege to play with them tomorrow. This teaches responsibility and respect without creating resentment. Emotional punishments, like yelling or threats, create a power struggle and ultimately diminish your authority over time. Positive reinforcement is also a game changer. Research shows that children who receive praise for good behavior are more likely to repeat it. Celebrate when your child shows respect, whether it's using polite language or following rules without complaint. It reinforces the idea that respect isn't just expected, it's appreciated. Finally, don't be afraid to admit when you're wrong. This might seem counterintuitive, but children need to see that authority figures can be humble too. A simple, "I'm sorry," when you overreact can be a powerful way to model respect. In return, they'll respect you more for being human, not perfect. If you're finding these insights helpful, consider subscribing to our channel for more parenting tips and strategies. Chapter 4: The Digital Dilemma. Authority lost in a screen-driven world. Screens are everywhere. Studies show that children ages 8–12 in the US spend about 5 hours a day on screens, and teens can clock in up to 7.5 hours. That's a lot of time in a world where authority and respect aren't always modeled well. The question is, how do you teach respect for authority when a child's main influence is their device? One effective strategy is to create a family media plan. Instead of simply limiting screen time, make it a family discussion. This gives your child a sense of control while you set boundaries together. For example, decide on no screen time during meals or before bedtime. This helps create routines that naturally reduce reliance on devices and encourages family interaction. Another tactic is media mentoring. Instead of banning certain apps or games, use them as teaching tools. Sit down with your child while they play or watch something, and ask questions like, "Do you think that character is being respectful?" Or, "Why do you think they acted that way?" A study from Common Sense Media found that 43% of kids say their parents never talk to them about what they see online. Engaging in this kind of dialogue helps them see the difference between respectful and disrespectful behavior. Also, be mindful of your own screen habits. Children mirror what they see, and if you're constantly on your phone, they'll feel like it's okay for them too. A good rule of thumb is to have tech-free zones in your house, like the kitchen or living room, so you can model being present and respectful in family settings. When it comes to social media, it's essential to talk about the concept of digital respect. Kids don't always connect online behavior with real-life consequences. A survey by the Pew Research Center revealed that 59% of teens have experienced some form of cyberbullying, often because they don't understand the long-term impact of their actions. Teach them that respect online is just as important as it is in person. Finally, encourage creative alternatives to screens. If your child is glued to their device, suggest activities like drawing, playing outside, or board games. Over time, they'll see that entertainment and connection don't always have to involve a screen. If you found these strategies helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips and insights on parenting.